welcome to No Skips, the show where we talk about albums that you listen to and you don't skip any songs on. Today we are talking about a band that unfortunately is no longer around. Maybe they'll come back at some point. But if this is the first time you're hearing about them, unfortunately, I'm telling you about a band that you're going to end up loving that you can't get more music from. So my bad on that, okay? My bad on that. But we are talking about Superchick, okay? I don't know if you've ever heard of that band before, but we are talking about Superchick. Now, the album we're going to talk about is kind of interesting because the album is called Beauty from Pain, but we're going to talk about the re-release of this album, all right? And I got to look at my phone to give you the history of this, but the first edition of this album came out in 2005, and then the re-release came out in 2006. Here's the story real quick about the re-release of this album. Beauty from Pain was released again in July 2006 as Beauty from Pain 1.1. This is Superchick's mainstream debut with Columbia Records. It is different from the original in that the track order was also slightly rearranged. It features remixed versions of We Live and Anthem, does not include Stories, and includes Regeneration's One Girl Revolution. A new track, Stand in the Rain, was included on this re-release. The song reached #1 on the R&R Christian Hit Radio chart for 9 weeks, starting in October of 2006. It was the 18th most played song on Christian Hits Radio stations in 2007. So we're talking about a big album here, a big album from a big band, and an album that really kicked things off for them. All right. Now, this is a No Skips album, and let me tell you, this is an album that I feel you can listen to at any age. But I feel like this album is important for teenage girls. And I'll even throw in teenage boys as well. But I feel like this album and the things that it's saying and the basically the things that it's dealing with, like this is an album that, and again, I'm not a girl, but I feel like this is an album that if you're going through something, it kind of lets you know that there are other people who understand what you're going through. And it talks about healthy ways of dealing with those things. And so I think this is an important record, not just a fun one that you listen to and you enjoy, which you certainly can at any age. But I feel like teenagers, if they listen to this album, this is a really important one that they will cherish. Because I know a lot of people that, used to be in my youth group whenever I'd go to church that are women. And they would say this album for them was not just a core memory, but in some cases saved them, from whatever it was they were going through, or showed them a different direction, or lifted their spirits. So that's where I'm coming from with this. Hopefully you get what I'm saying on that. But, this is one that's a little different than the other albums I talked about, because the other albums I'm saying, hey, listen to them, enjoy them, and rock out. This one, you might want to have a box of tissues next to you because it will make you feel things. It will make you have emotions with the things they're talking about and the way they're doing it, and just how beautiful the music is and how great the lyrics are. Like, this is a really emotional record. So if you're in for that sort of thing, check it out. But it's Superchick, Beauty from Pain. I'm talking about the re-release 1.1. And let me tell you right now, okay, the 3 singles that came off this album were Anthem, We Live, and Stand in the Rain. Those were the 3 singles that came out. But I legitimately have every single song on this album on my personal playlist. Every single song. Not a majority of the songs. Every single song has made my personal playlist because it is that good. They do not miss on this album, which is why I'm talking about it. Even though they are a band that's no longer around, that's why I'm talking about it, is because you owe it to yourself to listen to this one. Now, as far as the runtime on this album is concerned, it is roughly 35 minutes long. So it's not a long album, but it is one that's definitely worth your time. Now, one song that wrecks me, okay, makes me cry every time I hear about it, or every time I play this song, is Courage. That is one that really, really shakes me up whenever I listen to that song. But again, Courage is the name of the song. It's towards the back end of the album, and it talks about people with eating disorders. And that is one that is, like I said, very, very meaningful to me. Not because I went through anything like that, but just because I knew people who were going through stuff like that. That's why that really means something to me. And the song itself, as I'm kind of going on here, the song itself is kind of haunting the way that they do it. And I should tell you that Superchick to me was the combination of a lot of different styles. They had kind of the, lyrics of Pink, but they had some rock songs that felt like Avril Lavigne. They also had some more laid back / rock songs that felt like No Doubt. So you kind of take those three things together, put them in a pot, mix it up, and you get Superchick. So some songs are going to be like, this is perfect for skateboarding. Some songs are going to be like, I need the tissues because it's emotional. And other songs are going to be like, I just feel badass whenever I listen to this song. So that to me, is kind of how you would describe that. But Courage is one that, like I said, that one wrecks me every time I listen to that song. And if you go on their YouTube channel and you look up Courage by Superchick, you will see a lot of people post their own personal stories in the comment section. And just reading some of those, like I said, I'm that person that, like, once I take a step towards a rabbit hole, I end up falling down the rabbit hole. And this song made me do that. So as far as the album is concerned, like I said, I have every single song downloaded on my own personal playlist. Some of the other songs I love, Bowling Ball is a good one as well. We Live, obviously their version of One Girl Revolution was really good as well. It's On is another good one. Suddenly is a good one. Beauty from Pain, the title track is really, really good as well. And I would encourage you, if you've never listened to this one before, give it a listen. Again, about 35 minutes long. It's Superchick, Beauty from Pain 1.1. Listen to that version of the album. They did a really good job on it, especially on a re-release, making some changes and adding some things, taking some things away. It really is a solid, solid album. And hey, maybe they'll come back at some point. I'd love that because I really enjoyed the what they tried to do. Not just the music they made, but a lot of the ways that they tried to reach out to people, where they were and make a difference in people's life. So that's always really cool when you see a band do that. But Superchick, Beauty from Pain 1.1. Did you skip any songs on it? Let me know. Did you not skip any songs on it? Let me know. Is this the first time you're hearing about Superchick? Let me know. However you do it, just remember to like, comment, and subscribe, my friends. And until next time, I'll see you soon.